have the honor to introduce you today to Renee Gorham from Toro Bravo Inc. What was the motivation for you to start doing Spanish cuisine?
It came from growing up in the South, and when I grew up in the South, I did my culinary apprenticeship at the Williamsburg Inn and Colonial Williamsburg Lodge, and we did very colonial American food. When I was 23, I went to Ghana, West Africa, to help open a casino and a restaurant, and light bulbs went off. It made me want to study, so I started studying the other cuisines that inspired the food that my homeland had, and it was a combination of African, French, and Spanish. And the way I grew up, the Spanish cuisine just connected with me. And then all of a sudden, Spanish food got really exciting, and I knew that I could bring it to the public myself, and so I started showcasing it. And I had a supper club called Simpatica, and this was 2005, 2006, and I started doing Spanish tapas dinners. And Jerry Shriver from USA Today snuck in the back door, and a couple months later named it the #1 meal in the world for 2006. And at that point, I knew that that was my calling for a restaurant here in Portland. And so I kept studying and then going to Spain. And over the last 10 years, I've been to Spain 12 times and found a really strong connection with the people, not just the food.
John and I fell in love with Spanish culture and the relationship that the Spaniards have with the social dynamic of cuisine in their everyday lives.
The passion of the food and the places was so strong, like here in Portland, that I just wanted to combine the two. So if I can bring it here, everyone gets to experience what I experience. I think both cultures really appreciate the finer things. You know, they're looking for the best of everything. Not necessarily it's got to be the most expensive or anything, but they want the best flavor. They want to know who has the most passion to make the one thing the best. If it's the best, everyone will come and you'll have an audience to enjoy those things.
The world is one small place. And the intention of Ruta PDX is to make Portland an international destination.
For me, I want to share those experiences with all my cooks, and I can't go and get in their kitchen. So if I can bring the chefs here and have them influence our kitchens, our menus change so much. The Spanish chefs are the least egotistical chefs in the world. They come in and they're nice, they respect our stuff, they respect my cooks and my chefs, and they share all their knowledge. They want us to know what they know. Well, Ruta PDX is a way for me to say thank you to Portland and all the people who supply me with my products. There's no great chef without great products. And often the people that provide us the products are forgotten about to the public. And this was me saying thank you to them and saying, hey, you get to be the stars.
The party, the celebration, is a representation of Spanish culture, and that's what we wanted to bring to Portland.
The second part of La Ruta was the Portland kitchen. When I was growing up in my teenage years, my home was falling apart, and it was the kitchens that I worked in when I was 15 and 16 years old that were my family and took me in and taught me how to become something. And that's what the Portland kitchen's doing with these kids that they're mentoring. You know, I think there's a way of life in Spain that all Americans can adapt to, and it's just to stop and enjoy life a little bit. You know, like we all like the greater products and we like the greater things, but like the camaraderie, the friendship, the warmth, and just taking a second to enjoy life. That's a very, very Spanish way of living.
I want to thank everyone for joining us. Every single person that chose to join us, that bought tickets, that came to a dinner, that came to our trade show, our street fair, everyone who has traveled here to Portland to share their passion, all our sponsors, all our partners, all of our staff that has worked so hard to make this production a reality. I want to thank you all, and I want to invite you back next year. Cheers. Salud.